welcome to the MadTrio podcast. This week we have the California Pariah, Jonathan Charney, James, the Fat Man Stevens,
hello,
Rob the Old Guy,
from the world famous Rob Charney Show,
and holy shit, he makes again, it's Ryan Preston.
What? Who? Where?
our guest.
I'm not sure.
It's always great to see James's face when he says hello.
Hello.
He doesn't quite look like the guy who originally said that, though. He's not the right hair color.
Not the right cheek
up.
puffiness either.
Not the right cheek.
And
huh?
probably one of the saddest things I have to report is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers just passed away today.
William Hurt.
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, died today. He actually died from complications from hip surgery. He had hip surgery. There were 3 blood clots. Ended up giving him 3 heart attacks, and they pulled him off life support today. It lasted about an hour or 2. Last reports.
Wow,
What a shame.
That sucks.
Yeah, he was legendary as a wrestler. He was one of the founders of the stable New World Order, NWO, and I don't know, just a very beloved wrestler.
I got respect for, as much as I don't watch wrestling anymore, I got respect for anybody that puts their body on the line like that for the sake of people's entertainment.
Maybe it's for the sake of their pocketbook.
I mean, there's that too.
All right.
So one of the most crazy thing is back when they were in it, there were no territories. Not really. Actually, no. When there were not a whole lot of territories, so the money was limited. They weren't making a whole lot of money back in that day. It wasn't till Scott Hall and Kevin Nash jumped to WCW where they started making millions of dollars.
yeah, that's kind of where they had to find the money because they weren't getting money otherwise.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
So, John's favorite musician ever is gonna bow out of being a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh,
William
Dolly.
Hurt. Yep.
Dolly's just
Dolly
I've
Parton says that she doesn't want the votes to be split up because of her.
Well, let's
So
be
she
honest.
bowed out of being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
She's not rock and roll.
Wait, she bowed out of being inducted into the Hall of Fame for what reason?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh,
Because she didn't want to split up the votes between other people that have been nominated.
But she's not rock and roll. Of course, NWA's in there, and they're not rock
I
and roll
mean,
either.
damn, the amount of stuff that she wrote that became, she really transcended a particular genre, and goddamn, I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is definitely branched away from what you and I would consider, rock and roll as a genre. But I mean, you figured that she's one of those first round ballot Hall of Famers, shoe in.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if she turned it down before, because the fact she's not in it now is being probably one of the most prolific songwriters in the history of music, at least in modern
No
times.
kidding. I mean, there's people that have bowed out of becoming, knighted by the Queen.
Yeah.
People that could have been sirs that are like, nah, you can keep it. I'm good. Thanks. That's a power move.
I mean, I might do the same if she ever asked me.
I mean, right. Yeah.
yeah, me too. Obviously.
I'd totally say yes to it. I mean, hey.
How much money does it come with? How much land?
I think it comes with a couple
How
of
about surf?
good tables at the
Fish
at
and
the
chips
restaurants,
balls on the street.
yeah,
That's
right.
it. Yeah, that's probably all you get. You don't get a whole lot of anything else.
Get some extra fish and chips when I go over there.
I don't know. You would think that Monarch was hurting for all this money. You think she might shill a few of those sir things, but you have to be British for some reason. She cannot do that. And say, hey,
So
pay me X amount of dollars, and you too can be a sir.
So here's
Here's
a quick.
I made my girlfriend a lady.
There you go. Did you buy a little square inch of?
Yeah, she's got like a foot, whatever square. Foot.
Wait. So she got downgraded?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty
exactly.
fucked.
Yeah, she's a lady of Scotland.
Well, I mean, first she was your girlfriend, then you said fiance, and then now she got downgraded back to your girlfriend. I think you owe an apology.
It's
He's just still getting used to saying
so
that.
interchangeable nowadays. Like I've just flat out, for the sake of not wanting to get into the to the discussion just started calling her a wife. You know,
there you go.
Really, it just stops a lot of questions like, oh, my fiance. They're like, oh, when are you getting married? I'm like, I didn't bring this up to get into the conversation about it, man.
Wait until people start bringing up. So when y'all gonna pop out a couple of kids?
Oh yeah, well, I still get them from my mom.
So I got a quick listicle. We're talking about Dolly Parton, who said no to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So are we just like stealing that from Rob now? I mean, is that what we're doing? I mean, we did it all last week.
Yes. Well, I'm stealing this one because this is an interesting kind of obvious list. So it's myrockmixtapes.com. So just
He's
quickly,
stealing my shtick.
I am. So it's
Go figure.
The Sex Pistols, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, what is this list again?
This is a list of people, let me get back to the head, artists who refuse to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Those ones who refuse.
Okay.
Refuse. So the Sex Pistols, not really surprised.
No, that's punk rock. That's just...
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Axl Rose. I'm actually surprised they'd let him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, considering he's a world-renowned jackass.
I mean, a lot of world-renowned jackasses are probably in the Hall of Fame.
But how many started a riot?
Probably a couple.
True.
Well, according to this list, those are the 2 or 3. So
that's it?
Yeah, apparently that's a quick list. Ozzy Osbourne's was just take our name off the list, save the ink, forget about us. The nomination is meaningless because it's not voted on by the fans. It's voted on by the supposed elite for the industry and media who never bought an album or concert ticket in their lives, so their vote is irrelevant to me. Let's face it, Black Sabbath has never been the media darling.
I just prefer the Groucho Marx take on it. I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me as a member.
Well,
that's true.
This is why you're a guest now, Ryan. So you can feel invited.
All right.
I got this one for James.
Okay.
All right, James. As I have to clear my throat for this. Food, fast, facts.
Food, fast,
here we
facts.
go.
Okay.
Who invented chocolate milk?
William Hurt.
That's going to be the answer for everything today.
Chuck Berry.
I'm going to beat that joke to death.
So William Hurt. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Daniel Peter, who sold the concept to his neighbor, Henry Nestle.
So he sold it to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I mean, he could have just been, at a barbecue one weekend, and he's like, "I got this idea for chocolate milk," and he's like, "Chocolate milk."
I bet it came to
Henry
him.
Probably did that.
I bet it came to him awfully quickly.
Nestle's quick. Good job, John.
I know.
Wow. But then he spelled it wrong. Everyone made fun of him for it, and he just stuck to it.
He
fucking doubled down.
He's like, "This is what we're gonna do now."
My superpower is the inability to spell and killing conversations faster than a speeding bullet. So fuck yeah.
And improper grammar.
Wait, what kind of bullet?
So, what was the original name for a fork?
A broken knife?
Okay, everybody got quiet. Split.
I have
spoon.
no idea.
Split spoon.
Split
spoon.
Yeah. So I guess the spoon was invented before the fork.
Hey, give me one of them broken spoons.
They cut some slits into a spoon, and then it was a split spoon, and somehow it became a fork.
That's funny. Y'all, would you give me one of those fancy split spoons?
Is it supposed when a fork was like invented?
Yeah, well, so that was the whole idea. I guess we all started with spoons first, and it was probably a hollowed out branch.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Yeah, so then probably the wood got split at some time, and it looked like it had a split in it, and they kind of went, "Oh, that's not bad for sticking things." And, who knows? I'm not a caveman. I was born with forks. So.
I guess it really would be. Man, it was kind of a stupid fucking question. It would be like a caveman thing. Like you're sitting there with like one kind of big flat piece of board, and then your buddy comes and sits down next to you, and he's got like this like forked piece of stick, and you look over and you're like, "Dude, I want to get one of those." And you go to the first tree you find, start snapping branches.
That's right. Well, we did. He says, "Where do I patent it?
Where is that fancy? Where is that fancy spoon?"
Let's see. We got some more here. So where did we get the term for Melba toast?
For what?
Melba toast? Oh, come on, James.
What the hell is
You're
that?
our chef. You don't know about
wasn't that like a prison food?
And actually started by an Australian opera singer by the name of Nellie Melba.
So
and
prison
she
food.
invented this toast. There's actually a type of toast
Get
that's
it?
made. It's
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
James, this one's
I didn't know there was a freaking name for it. And most of the time they call it bruschetta.
So
there you go.
Here's the directions. Here's the directions. Toast the bread slices on both sides on the grill or use a bread toaster.
No, it's just it's more like a dried one.
Cut off the
they
crust.
Basically put it in an oven and really make it toasty.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
So it's like a dried
No, it's not
bruschetta.
dried. It's not air dried.
Right.
John. There's a whole difference between stale and dried toasted.
That was Ryan who said that, not me.
Uh-huh.
I was reading the directions.
And you were reading the wrong directions.
I prefer fried matzah.
Oh my God! What do people say? What is Melba toast made of?
Well, toast.
I had to Google it because I'd never heard the term.
Yeah, I'm still a little unclear.
It sounds
exactly
like
what Melba toast is.
Most of the time, I would have
toast.
heard it as crostini or something,
There you go.
or a French term rather than an English term, which is Rob used.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know the Australians can't fucking just call anything by its actual name. It's always got to be like cutesy.
The British are the same way.
Marmite. Bullshit.
Oh,
Anyway, go on, Rob. So what were you saying about
like
Melba
veggie
toast?
wedgie or something?
Yeah,
too.
we looked at a Melba
veggie.
toast. And I was looking at this list, and so the number one complaint for fruits, although really a banana is not a fruit, right? A banana is. No, it is. I guess it's a fruit.
Yeah, bananas
after
fruit.
tomatoes. But anyway, most people complain. That's the number one thing that most people complain about in grocery stores are bananas. And why is that? Because of the spots on the banana. But a banana isn't ripe and sweet until it has the spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, like
So
Peter
people
Falk.
complain.
He wasn't sweet until he got all the liver spots on his head.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's when you knew he was ripe.
Ooh.
And I'm surprised nobody's eaten Peter Falk.
And half the people are going.
You could be the first.
I could. He's dead, right? Did Peter Falk die?
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Did he?
I think so. I think some
Pretty
years
sure
back.
he's dead.
I
Well,
apologize to Peter Falk.
Hold
if
on, I
you're
only have one
wandering
eye.
around there somewhere.
Yes, he's. I'm pretty sure he is dead.
All right.
he's
How
gotta
many
be.
snails are served annually?
Oh, 2011. How many snails are served annually? I'd say 500,000.
That sounds
billion.
about right.
A billion?
A billion snails are served.
A
annually.
Wow.
billion.
A billion.
That's got to be more in, I wouldn't say France, but, I know there's other.
Europe.
I think
That's more common.
Yeah. Huh. That's crazy. Well, I guess, I know that when I actually ate escargot that I actually liked, I ate probably about 20 of them.
I mean, they are small. And now, look, escargot, it falls under the same category for me as crab and lobster, which, listen, I get people want to tell me I love crab and lobster. I look at them their dumb faces and say, you like butter. You just need a delivery system for that butter, and it just happens to be crab and lobster. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying what you like is butter.
So just to back up a little bit, Peter Falk died in 2011, and Telly Savalas died in 94. So we can cover all the famous detectives.
Okay.
Okay.
94. It was a long time ago. All right, let's try this one. This one would have to be done with your nose held. It says that an onion, an apple, and a potato all have the same taste. The difference in flavor is caused by their smell.
Hold the damn phone. I'll be.
You gotta go try that. All right. It's gonna go.
Hold on, I gotta legit write that down. What was that again?
All right. An onion, an apple, and a potato.
An onion,
all
an
have
apple,
the same
and a potato.
All right, everybody's running to their refrigerators to go.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to play this game. I don't believe it.
Well, you better believe I'm going to bite the potato before I get to, if a potato tastes the same as the apple, then I might try to take a bite out of an onion.
I guess my question is with this thing is, so even if you hold your nose, you still have a sense of smell.
That's what I was just about to ask. Is the olfactory sense still not just if you hold your nose?
You'd have to find somebody that has absolutely no sense of smell,
but also has a sense of taste. How connected are they if you hold your nose?
I don't know. But isn't that's an odd one? I don't know.
I don't really believe that. I really don't.
You don't believe it? So you're going to challenge this one. All right. James challenged.
I say that one is false news.
The fast facts you challenged.
Fake news.
Yes.
I'm imagining biting into an onion, and I can taste that strong onion. In my head.
So my thought right off the bat is, what kind of onion are they talking about? Because there's onions, like you said, that
are fake news.
Strong.
Yeah, I mean, white onion, but red onion got a real distinct flavor to them, and I don't think that has anything to do with my nose.
No, yeah. I mean, I could see the apple and potato.
I mean, damn, man, because the apple's got sugar in it. It's got natural
sugars.
I'm
saying, well, so does a potato. Why do you think it gets brown?
Potato has starch that gets turned into sugar.
Yeah.
Hello,
but it's not sugar on your tongue.
Where's Julia Child when you need her?
Well, she has a sense of smell.
Well, she did.
And I'm saying she probably smells still.
That's one.
It's funny. Challenge.
I'm not going to argue that. I mean, there's probably some truth to it. Just depends on how you take it.
So what I'm saying is, like, I could see I've bitten into a raw potato, and there's a small amount of sweetness still to it. Now, an onion, I guess it does have a good amount of sugars in it too, because you get caramelized onions. So if you take it,
right.
So I don't know. I just don't think. Yeah, that sugar does caramelize. That's why you have caramelized onions. That's one of the flavors that you get it from, is from the sugars in the onion, and it takes a while to cook it down and get it to caramelize properly. And for idiots out there, burning an onion is not caramelizing an onion. There's a total different way to do it. You have to heat it up properly, idiots. Anyways, now
I burn me a few onions in the day.
Idiots.
I just don't think the onion would. I don't think the onion's gonna do it. I just don't see it.
So
potato and apple, I can see. Throw the onion out of it.
Yeah, I agree. So that's a strange one, but they're saying it's true. But we can challenge the fast facts here. I'm good with that. I didn't.
But the thing is if you literally throw away your sense of smell, if you get rid of the sense of smell completely, that's where I'm like, maybe it could.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, go to a genie and say, get rid of my sense of smell because I got to debunk this shit.
Right. Yeah. That is not going to be one of my monkey's paw wishes. That's for damn sure.
I think Rob needs to go on next on the list before this becomes half an hour of debating which one tastes.
All right, a couple of this ones real quick here.
Jeez.
So, wait a minute. You threw me off. Oh, shoot, dudes. All right. When was the first year aluminum cans were invented for sodas? Aluminum.
I'm going to go with
sodas?
1979.
For sodas. Aluminum.
No. For sodas. Specifically sodas.
80.
No, 1960.
Yeah. I'm saying later because it was for beer, but you're saying specifically sodas. So
aluminum cans, right? What year were they introduced?
65.
I'd go 70.
No, I'd say more where John's at. Because I know my parents had them because they were talking about the 8-ounce cans.
I mean, and I'm remembering the old
before I was born.
Tab that you just tore right off and you threw out. It wasn't attached to the thing. I mean, that had to be.
So I'm saying 70s. Okay. I'm saying mid 70s.
All right, everybody had a guess on that one. Believe it or not, it's a lot earlier than even I thought. It's 1957.
Really?
Oh wow.
1957.
Well, who was the first one? Coke?
Well, so yes, Coke was, and then 2 years later, Coke introduced not only regular Coke, but they introduced a Diet Coke
And the newcomer.
And 1959, which I had no idea.
1959. I imagine people opening them up with those like things that you used to open like tomato sauce cans with,
Yeah.
Just you drank.
Yep, that's the way beers were. And then so the pull tab line that you talked about, what year was it invented?
So I was actually just making a joke. The original can, legit, you had to like pop open with your own little
tab
separate
where you pulled
tool.
it all the way off. The tab came all the way off, not the ones that we have now.
See, that's what I was thinking, and that's why I was thinking maybe like mid to late 60s. Maybe 1970 at the latest.
So actually, those started coming out in 1962.
Oh,
which I don't remember seeing anywhere near in my childhood. And
so before the original pull tab, did you actually have to have like that separate tool?
Yes.
The key.
No shit. I was legit just making a joke about like old things.
That's the way, because I remember my dad opening his beer cans, and it was always with the can opener. Why it was called a can opener.
So you had like that big one that you punched in, then you put the little small one as the air hole behind it, right?
Right.
Wow.
Yep. So. All right, so that was enough of my trivia for that part. Fast fact.
I mean, were cans just invented? I mean, seriously, just for stacking purposes? Because that seems like what it was.
No, I think cans were originally designed because of preservation, to preserve foods.
Sure.
That was the main reason for cans.
But I know the way cans are designed. I mean, you can stack them 30, 40 pallets high, and they line up their structure.
Right.
So they don't, doesn't
I agree.
I'm
sure that was an added benefit.
I mean, think about how much easier it is to swing around some boxes of cans versus bottles.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, I don't think can sizes were universal. Would that be another fact we would have to look up and figure out when?
Yeah, they probably weren't universal at first, but I know my parents were talking about that most of the cans that they knew when they were growing up were 8-ounce cans. So I think they went for, an 8-ounce cup size for the drink sizes back then. And they were saying, that was enough for them to drink it during their meals or whatever. And I was kind of like, okay, because they went up to 10 and 12, which most of the can sizes now are 12 ounces.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of where they were saying, they remember that they all used to be 8-ounce cans.
It really did do everybody a disservice with the larger cans. This is a 20-ounce Red Bull. I shouldn't have been able to buy this.
Really? That's the hill you're gonna die on? I don't want to be able to. That's come on.
No, it's not at all. I'm just saying, like if it didn't exist, I wouldn't have bought it.
And you would have bought two of them. You would have bought two of them.
We've oversized their serving sizes.
Everything's been oversized. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the way we went.
So
I blame it on jumbo fries.
So guess what?
So
guess
speaking of knights, have you heard that Sir Ernest Shackleton, the crew that doomed expedition in Antarctica, their ship was found?
Really?
They found the Endurance.
No shit. I remember reading that book back in the day, man.
Lost in 1915.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It was a crazy ass book.
Found off the coast of Antarctica.
And it's actually it's not perfectly, but it's really well preserved because of the icy waters.
It's amazing how well preserved it was. I was looking at the
I was looking at the pictures. It's really cool.
So
it's really cool.
So here's a quote: "The preservation is beyond imagination," said Mensum Bound, the director of exploration at the Falklands Maritime Heritage Trust.
Yeah. So John pulled that up really fast. Is this one that you had in your?
No, I have a list of things. Don't you worry. Okay. Over a century after it sank to the depths of the Weddell Sea, that's Weddell Sea off the coast of Antarctica, the lost ship of the Anglo-Irish explorer Ernest Shackleton has been found. In 1915, the Endurance was trapped by dense packed ice, forcing Shackleton and his crew to make a stunning escape. Now, 107 years later, the wooden vessel has been located, and it's virtually intact, which is amazing.
Why is the goddamn picture in black and white? Here it is in the water. Okay.
Because it's from 1915. I mean, really,
we found this old ship. Quick, somebody grab me an old timey camera. Wow, that dude, that
Polaroid,
is
man.
nutty.
It's beautiful. He said he added that he had never ever seen a wreck as beautiful as this. In 30 years, he spent working on shipwrecks. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Look at that. That is the
Isn't it cool?
endurance, man.
Isn't it cool though? That's so cool.
And everybody younger than the old guy is like, what?
No, man.
He's like, I remember when this ship went down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, so
I told him not to go that route.
So the craziest thing is my grandfather was young when this ship was lost. He was very young. So that amazes me.
Damn.
One grandfather wasn't even born yet. Just so you know.
1915 when it was lost.
Dude, that is the endurance. That's
back to
trippy,
1907.
man.
Oh. Well,
That is an amazing shape. That's freaky.
It was lost in 1915.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
So something is
They don't make
happening.
boats like that anymore.
Go ahead, John. Go.
Something is happening that's the first time it's happened since the first .com bust. Guess what it is? According to GeekWire.com, Amazon board approves a 20-for-1 stock split. It's the first since before the .com bust. So what do you think? Amazon board has approved the company's first stock split in more than 20 years. Subject to shareholder approval for the 20-for-1 split would reevaluate Amazon's individual shares, aiming to make them more affordable for individual investors, reorganizing the long-term increase in the company's share price.
20-1, huh? Wow, I got 20 shares now.
Amazon board, yeah, I was going to say this is I don't know, I was kind of interested in the fact they're doing it, or probably the perfect time considering for the last 2 years everybody's been buying more shit off of Amazon than they ever did before because they couldn't go to their neighborhood market. Because it was
Amazon's boom recently is insane with the whole lockdown. Everyone's ordering. I order crap off of Amazon more than I want to admit, but I do it.
Yeah,
because I also live up in almost buttfuck nowhere, so but yeah, so it kind of makes it easier than having to pay for gas to go shopping these days for certain things.
Oh, geez.
You bring up a good point. Now Amazon is going to be increasing their Prime rate soon anyway. Now what's going to happen with the fuel situation now that we're going stupid uber ridiculous with our per gallon price on fuel?
$6 a gallon, LA
It's
County.
nuts, just nuts. And so how's shipping not going to follow suit? It's going to have to.
Exactly.
So
shipping is going to get more expensive, but considering that I'm just paying for it to be brought here instead of me making a trip out and then back,
right?
I'm still getting a little bit better pricing doing it that way versus anything else. So it kind of goes back and forth on whether or not if I'm out and I think of something, I'll get it. But since I think for about a year, I actually have toilet paper shipped straight to my house.
Oh, wow.
Because it was a lot simpler to do that than deal with all these idiots who bought it all out of the freaking stores.
True.
So it was just a lot easier. And I'm like, I think that's kind of convenient.
True that. Yep.
So
the most amazing thing about gas prices, last Monday when I fill up every Monday, and it cost me $5.13 a gallon. Filled up today, $5.67 at the same gas station.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, $5.98 over here.
For regular.
And last I heard, it's gonna go. We will see the price increase of another $40 per barrel, which is gonna be trickled down to us over the next year, maybe year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do we go take up Ukraine on that offer of free guns? You know what I mean?
So, man, that's crazy. The most amazing thing about this is how the politics are playing out. Is how the right and left are playing it. One side's blaming Biden, and the other side is blaming Putin. If you guys are interested, anybody out there who's just for the fascination of politics, this is going to get very interesting really quick. Especially considering you have some war hawks saying this is going to be World War III. It
already has begun as World War III, It's just that, like World War One and Two, we're just gonna sit on the sidelines until it's basically we have to get in there.
And it's been since World War II. That when did Article 5 become a thing with NATO?
With NATO?
Day one, I thought.
Was it 80s, something like that?
I thought when NATO was, I thought it was always a thing. I thought it was one of the benefits of joining.
When did NATO become a thing?
Oh,
I have to look up the exact date. John's Mr.
Yeah, I'd have to look that one up. I don't know it off the top of my head.
It's one of those things where it's literally what it reminds me of is the way he's skirting around the Article 5 thing is just like going up to your sister like, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
So from the latest I've heard, it's already been declared that one strike, even an accidental strike, is going to be considered an act of war. Now, I've only seen that in one place. I don't know if it's true. But according to Wikipedia, the bastion of all knowledge, the history of NATO begins with the immediate aftermath of World War II.
That's what I was thinking. The Allied countries just kind of got together.
Excuse me. When the British diplomacy set the stage to contain the Soviet Union and stop the expansion of communism in Europe, the United Kingdom, France signed in 1947 the Treaty of Dunkirk, and yada yada. An integrated military structure NATO was first established in 1950. Became clear that NATO would need its enhanced. So yeah, 50-51 I think is when it became basically the formal.
Yeah, and look, man, I don't care. I decided not to Monday morning politician anymore because I don't have the info that these guys do. I'm not in the room privy to the context of everything, and I don't have the time of day to try to figure it out.
But you gotta have an opinion.
Gotta have an opinion, man. But however you think Biden is handling this, fine. The idea of anybody not blaming Putin directly for all of this shit is asinine to me.
Yeah.
So
Biden's response to it is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned.
So if from everything I've seen, a little bit I've read, the whole gas prices and everything else is a combination of everything. But this has been happening since the last time I heard this really started, I think it was under Bush. Because if I remember correctly, when they first started going after Ukraine, it was Bush, Obama, and then Trump. Because one of Obama's people said, "Man, we should have done more on this." So this
in what way? What way would have they done more?
I don't know. That's a good question, but this is 14 years in the making. And then there are some people thinking because of COVID that Putin went crazy. Because I guess, he's a germaphobe and he doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be, those particular rumors and look, can you trust wartime media on any side?
I don't trust media in general, so that's.
I mean, no kidding. But even the independent news sources and whatnot. I mean, there's so much that is being purposely filtered, through specific channels or certain information that's being leaked and things like this. It's one of those things we're not gonna find out what actually happened for 20 years.
Well, it's just like, for me, I always do what the old guy did who grew up in the hippity-dippity 60s was, don't trust anything. Just, do your research and, question everything.
Yeah. Yeah. But, good old guy Rob hedged his bets was the hippie with the gun.
That's right.
Walk softly and carry a big ass stick.
Well, no, he says he wasn't a hippie because he showered.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you were less crunchy.
Yeah. I guess it all depends on the definition of a hippie, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can attest, modern hippies stink.
It's all that patchouli oil.
I could say the old hippies stink too. I didn't have to smell them, thankfully, but I'm sure they did.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm kind of wondering what's the difference.
Gosh.
So what's the difference between the homeless and the hippie? That's what somebody who's worked in retail most of his life always wants to know. Because they smell the same.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference is they ask you for weed instead of money. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he's got a point there. There you go.
I was in San Francisco, rolled up for a music festival, like hippies, like hippies do. And as I'm walking up to the venue, it's just in this big park near the bridge,
a bridge
and Bay Bridge, yeah. And I'm walking up this long park road, and here's hippies on the side of the road. Got buds? Got buds? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? 1, yes. 2,
No.
not for you, hippie. Get away from me. Like, the arrogance of that blew my mind. Got buds. Like, what? Like, it's like asking me if I had, like, cappuccino. Hey, do you have a spare cappuccino? Do you have this awesome luxury item that would just really boost my spirits right now? It's not this thing that I need to survive, get to the next day, feed my kids. Like, just blew my fucking mind.
Hey, you know what? But they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't work.
It reminds me of high school.
That same trip, I'm sorry, give me a second. That same trip, I saw 3 homeless dudes with a sign that said "Starving like Marvin." Now, the first time I saw it, I'm like,
Nice.
That's fucking good, bro. Here's a couple of bucks. Not 600 yards down the road, I'm like, that's the same fucking sign. That's a different guy. It wouldn't see it 3 times if it didn't work.
Well, yeah, because the other guy was Marvin. So.
Yeah, the other guy literally was Marvin.
That's right.
They just stole the sign, and
this is why all of them have dogs, because they're like, oh, look, I need food for my dog.
Oh man, I know I'm a sucker for the dog one too. Damn it.
Yeah, until they get up, take their dog, hop into their BMW sport utility vehicle and drive away.
Yeah, the difference though is I can tell that dog's miserable. The guy might be putting one over me. That dog's legit. Like, the fuck am I doing out here, man? I could have made better choices in life.
That's right.
This is why a Boston Terrier is the perfect dog, because you can make them pout really easily. I make mine pout all the time.
I mean, get a Basset Hound and just droopy dogging it next to you the whole day.
Wait, I thought you hated Hanna-Barbera.
I love Droopy Dog.
Oh, now you're kind of moving backwards there.
Well, no, was Droopy Hanna-Barbera?
No. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay, so which cartoon outfit was Droopy Dog?
Yeah, which
one? Mr.
Tex Avery?
Yeah.
He was in there
it was a Tex Avery cartoon.
Yeah, right, because he was in there with Bugs and even Roger Rabbit, I think. Yeah.
Droopy Dog cartoon.
Droopy Dog was funny.
That was
it was Tex Avery.
Tex Avery cartoons were awesome.
1943, Tex Avery.
Wow.
It's amazing how old those cartoons were, man. I was, brought up in the 90s, you know what I mean? I was a kid in the early 90s. I would have swore that shit was made the year before, Seriously.
Oh, yeah, when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Well, but there's a thing, though. There was no real change in the technology, from the, 40s to the 90s. You're still drawing on stuff. Maybe you drew more frames, and sped the camera up a little bit, but it was still pictures that were being broadcast. Just drawings.
Do you know what really affected them more than anything? The invention of high definition television.
Right.
Once you went from
when people had to start changing the technology to meet the demand of the TVs.
Once you went from
notice with high def stuff, everybody's skin looks terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you went from interlace to progressive, it got horrible. Especially
quite a bit of it was the makeup.
Oh yeah, it was
so the makeup that you used to have to wear for television was a lot.
Yeah.
And then when they went high definition, they had to adjust the amount of makeup and the compositions and all the other shit that went into all that makeup design.
Yeah.
To match and make it look like people weren't sickly.
Yeah.
And dying.
Yeah, like it was a death mask and everyone was covering up syphilis.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they've gotten better. I don't really watch network TV much anymore or any live television much anymore. But it looks like it's gotten better from what I've seen in the past.
Yeah, even just the movies and things like that, you can tell like oh, okay, obviously they're going a lot more subtle. Somebody had to say, hey, listen, we're gonna have to use an airbrush. We can't just use regular makeup sponges anymore.
Stop caking it on with a spatula.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
we've got to start. Getting subtle.
The interesting thing in makeup is look up what they did for the black and white movies. If you take a look at like what the colors they used funky shades because it looked better in black and white.
Different in black and white. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
and
Frankenstein was green.
That's why
if I
I love
remember
movie magic. Is it only has to look good from this angle? It doesn't matter what it looks like from right here.
Yeah, true.
You know, so all of that lighting, everything is so specific. There used to be an old movie studio semi close to here. There's a little backlot kind of an area, and you would see like the facades of the houses, and you're like, that looks like a nice little suburb. And then you hook around the corner and you see the little kickers coming out from just the facade, and you're like, wow, man, this is why I love movies.
Yeah,
because it only had to look good from that road right
That's
there.
Right.
You know, I always loved in Blazing Saddles when they made the fake town.
Yep.
And they all come riding in like they're gonna like destroy this town, and they're like, "Ah, shit!"
It's a movie set.
Yep.
Oh, no.
So that was a good one. That was so good. I've seen the post recently. I've named a movie that you've seen more than 3 times, and I'm like, it's always Blazing Saddles. I used to watch that at least 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
doubt.
I wanted to
talk. What I watched last night that's been in heavy rotation for me is Groundhog Day.
Oh, I love that one too.
Perfect movie.
I don't have time to watch movies, but I have that one.
Well, sooner or later, you're going to need to start your child's education, you know, so you get to rewatch all of that shit.
So,
yeah, Caddyshack, Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, Spaceballs.
I was going to just say Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein.
I hate Young Frankenstein. I don't think so.
How dare you?
How dare you, sir?
Young Frankenstein.
I don't.
It's hysterical.
So
all the Bill and Ted's.
Rob, listen.
No. There's only one. There's only one good Bill and Ted's. The second one is adequate, and the third one, from all accounts, is horrible.
You have to have him watch all of them.
I haven't seen all of them. Why would I force him to? I saw the first and second one in theaters. That's good enough.
Dude, the amount of shit that your kid's gonna show you that you're gonna hate already. I mean, damn.
I've watched enough.
You might as well make your peace with watching things you don't want to.
I've watched enough Peppa.
I still have yet to see Frozen.
You know, me too.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
So
I have.
I want to talk about a product that I discovered via YouTube page that I thought was amazing, and it's for dementia patients. It's an Alzheimer's simple. It's an Alzheimer's dementia simple portable radio and music player. Basically, you set the presets in the back. You lock the back, and you have 4 presets atop and on and off button in the volume. Super simple. It's $150, but if anybody out there has family members who love listening to the radio, but it's they're all super too complicated for them now, this is perfect for them. And it's the first of its product that I've seen that actually looks fairly useful.
You know, sadly, that there is some truth to what you're saying, because I had a family member going through that, and remote control was beyond her ability.
Yeah.
It's something she'd been using, you know, for the last 20 years without a problem, and then it became difficult. So, great way of bringing the show down, John.
Well, hey, I want. Yeah. Hey, that's what I'm here for. But I thought it was cool. There's also a little.
It starts out funny though when you find the remote in the refrigerator.
Yeah, well.
And the keys in the cat.
Yeah.
The keys in the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard me.
Wrong kind of lock.
I'm committed to that imagery.
So I know Rob won't know the answer, won't know this band, besides he used to listen to them. What is Jonathan Davis of Korn says previously the dumbest fucking track Korn ever did? Can any of you guess what it is? The dumbest song they ever did.
I can think of it. I just can't think of the name of it.
That's a.
I read that headline. I can't remember because I could have cared less.
So it was the track "All in the Family." It was with Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit, and they were all completely gone out of their mind.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay.
It was from Follow Leader. I actually think that track's hilarious. Even to this day, I find it hilarious. I don't know why.
Yeah, it was. That was a weird one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Yeah, it was the Follow the Leader one. It was the one with the little girl on the steps or whatever that
Yeah.
shit on the album artwork. And then it was I was trying to remember which one. Yeah, it was a good album, but yeah, that was a weird one.
And so this is for Ryan. The star of Kiss of the Spider Woman and Body Heat has died at age 71. William Hurt.
Damn it! I was really hoping it wasn't going to be William.
Yeah, that's been your answer all along to everything. So now you got it right.
Yeah, man. Broken clock. I dug me some William Hurt, man. He was in a lot of things, a lot of smaller things for me. I probably didn't catch most of his sort of like starring roles. That was the leading man stuff that was a little either before my time and.
It hurts that you didn't pay attention to him more.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's been in so many, like little parts or supporting roles that it's hard for me to remember his like big. Oh yeah, broadcast news.
So he has a total of 106 credits on IMDb.
Yeah, man, he was always just that guy, dude, in so many damn different things.
And his acting credits go all the way. The first one was in 77 in Kojak.
Oh yeah, Lost in Space. Yeah, the movie.
Lost in Space, the new movie?
The older movie from the 90s. It was one of those.
Who'd he play in Lost in Space?
He was the dad.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah, he had a beard. He had that blonde beard at the time.
By the way,
that's a movie that I don't know if this has ever happened to you.
I love that movie.
You watch a movie that you liked maybe when you were a kid, and you watch it one too many times, and it all of a sudden makes it stupid.
Oh no! See, I love that movie. I love because of the doctor. What's the bad doctor on there?
Yeah. That was Gary Oldman, man.
Because
Smith.
Yeah, Dr. Smith. He made that line solely based on the line "Evil knows evil." He's the reason that movie is so good.
Yeah, well, it's Gary Oldman. That dude was, and William Hurt, honestly, way better of actors than were required to make that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
That was not a good movie, by the way. Just
it wasn't.
Putting that out there.
Oh no, don't. When was it? 96? When was that damn thing made?
90s.
Oh, 94,
90,
maybe even?
98.
Yeah.
Really? A little later than I thought.
So this is how you know it wasn't a great movie. Everybody's friend Joey was in it. Matt LeBlanc.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Joey did a good job in the role that it was given to him.
Cool,
honestly,
I was hoping.
Yeah, he was actually one of the better roles. I wouldn't say the better actor.
That, like clicked down over his face and shit.
He could have.
But that was a really good role for him.
That could have, if he found more roles that were fitting, that could have turned him into an action star.
Man, I really could have dug some Matt LeBlanc as an action star.
Yeah, I could have too.
Behind that, man.
Yeah. After I thought that movie was going to be absolutely terrible because he was in it. The movie was absolutely terrible, but not because he was in it.
No.
So, I mean, that says a lot. And I remember him in there, and I'm like, as Ryan just said, I could get behind him doing these roles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he never did it. He never did follow through on that.
That was the only one, man.
Yeah.
Well, when you're making Friends money, let's be honest, you don't really have to do anything else.
Yeah, and he probably took a lot of shit for doing a movie like that, and he was like, you know what, I don't need this shit in my life.
Well, it's like the lead singer of Aerosmith. The reason why he took the role on that talent show, he's like, I wanted a house.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest. I would do the same thing if you got a shit movie or a shit TV show, but they're offering you enough zeros. It's like, when do we start?
Yeah, no, my dignity is absolutely for sale.
Really?
Oh, no doubt about it. And not as much as you might think. I mean, make me an offer, I'm just saying. I got a wedding to pay for.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go down to Vegas and you have Elvis marry you.
Maybe this is where I should plug my OnlyFans.
Who? The loneliest OnlyFans ever.
Hey, he doesn't call that thing on his face the tickler for nothing.
Okay.
TMI for Rob.
That was a tad bit much, even for me. That was
Then why are you blushing under that beard?
Who's blushing?
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yeah,
So that
Beard's
makeup
coming
you
a
have
little
he
thick
was
for
the one
the
who's talking about
Journeys.
angel lust.
Yeah.
Like what?
Oh, see, the other two don't know what that is.
Angel lust?
Uh-huh.
I could cite a couple of biblical references.
No, man, that's a mortuary term.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Angel lust has to do with men and when they die getting an erection.
Oh,
It's known
I see.
as angel lust.
Never actually seen that one.
I
would
call
wanna see
bullshit.
it.
I call bullshit.
Yeah,
We-
I'm
we-
not there at the scene, like when somebody
Right.
dies and whatnot.
We both know
But,
that Ryan has ride the lightning a little.
You need your
I don't feel
down
the
with that one,
need
boy.
to I feel like it should go unsaid that I don't need to defend myself.
Yeah,
on this.
yeah. It's,
Yeah, I'll really let him have it.
oh, Jonathan.
Anyways,
Okay, moving right along.
But yeah, I was saying the beard's coming a little thick for the Charnies lately.
I'm just too lazy to shave.
I'm digging the salt and pepper there, buddy.
You talking to the old guy or me?
Yeah, you. We got
Old
full
guy has
salt and pepper
now.
and Miracle on 34th Street over here with Rob.
Yeah, you got that right. It's just salt now. There's no more pepper there.
Well, did you know that Matt LeBlanc was on a TV show called Man with a Plan from 2016 to 2020?
no.
He did 69 episodes. I did not. Sorry, that surprises me.
Well, I mean, like shit. I'm with James. I don't really catch a lot of network stuff anymore. I've been spoiled rotten by the HBOs of the world, man.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what I watch? I have YouTube. That's YouTube and some Crunchyroll animes, about as much as I have. So I got a total of like 40 minutes spread.
Crunchyroll is very on brand for you, so that tracks.
Hey, Crunchyroll's awesome. The Sony bought them and Funimation, however you call it. So now it has a bunch of titles. So as an anime nut, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cheap.
There's
too.
a lot of anime I got to catch up on. I'm tired of people giving me shit for not having seen it.
What? Even I think that's ridiculous.
I mean, apparently we're talking about, like, the second I say to somebody I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, everyone loses their goddamn minds.
Hey, you know what?
Oh,
the only thing I would tell you on Cowboy Bebop is listening to the soundtrack.
Cowboy Bebop.
I'm surprised you even watched Cowboy Bebop, Rob.
Yeah, how you?
Hey.
I hear the music's dope.
Every now and then, I'll put something weird on.
Rob might like the anime, but the soundtrack is the best thing about it. I actually love the anime, but the soundtrack's freaking killer.
The movie,
the TV show.
Netflix movie.
I knew of the movie or the TV show, which got canceled recently. I knew of the TV show because of the anime.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But anyway, yeah, and it was not very good. The movie.
So
That's what I hear.
You guys brought up since you guys brought up anime. There's a TV show series called X Driver, made from 2000 to 2001. I thought everybody should take a look at it at some point. It's where all the cars are driverless cars, and then because these cars go crazy, they hire people to drive normal cars to stop them, to stop all the automatic cars.
Death race.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, huh? Wow.
It's an interesting.
You would not be able to pay me enough to do that.
Well, your dignity is for sale, so I'm sure there is a price.
I mean, dignity, yeah, but I mean, me, just regular guy driver.
You
good
could
driver,
pay him enough.
Pretty damn good driver against automatic drivers all trying to kill me. Like, nah, I don't think I got a chance.
As a guy who's commuted for most of his life, I would have loved to have a car where I could just like sleep in for the 45 minutes to hour and a half it takes me to get to work. That would be amazing.
That may happen someday, but everybody's getting away from computing. Nobody's working in an office anymore, other than your company.
Oh, there's so many people now that companies are actually having issues because was it Goldman Sachs? There was one of these big financial institutions that said, "Okay, everybody back at work," and half the people said, "Okay, bye-bye.
We'll quit."
Oof.
Yeah.
So that's
a
definitely
lot of companies are experiencing that.
So Since I wasn't watching the time, I did want to tell you guys, take a look at our sponsor. It's Audacity. That's Oddassity. It's a game where dignity is overrated. Go to audacity.com. Use use MadTrio, all caps, all one word for 10% off your final order. And make sure you go on your social media feeds and tell them the MadTrio sent you. Thank you.
Hey, I got one shout out for probably the bravest woman in the world. So Russian news broadcast was on live here today. And there was an anti-war protester that actually worked for the station that stood up behind the news lady reading the news in Russia, which of course is state sponsored. You got to read what they tell you can read. And she stood up behind the lady anchor and held up a sign saying no war and that Russia should stop doing that. And of course, nobody will ever see her again. But one brave woman.
No shit.
I want to thank you all for listening. For the California Pariah, the Fat Man, the Old Guy, and who the fuck is this, Ryan Preston? As always, thank you for listening.